Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu, Kubernetes and Helm Fundamentals, Episode 8 of 10. Just because you can template every single line of a Kubernetes manifest does not mean you should. When you try to make every field configurable, you end up with a chart that no one can read, let alone maintain. This episode covers Helm Chart best practices, the rules that keep your configurations from collapsing under their own weight. The biggest trap in chart creation is over-templating. Many developers treat Helm templates like a basic text replacement script. That is a common misunderstanding. Helm executes a Go template engine to produce structured, valid YAML. If you drop a variable into a file without carefully managing indentation and data types, the generated YAML will break entirely. Because of this, you should only template the values that genuinely change between environments. Think image tags, replicas, resource limits, or ingress rules. Leave the core structural fields hard-coded. If a user never needs to change a specific security context or volume mount, do not expose it as a variable. The values.yaml file acts as the public API for your chart. When organizing this file, you must balance structure with usability. The official recommendation is to keep the hierarchy as shallow as possible. While you should group related parameters together, avoid deep nesting. Consider the user passing overrides through the command line. Forcing them to type a dot-separated path 5 levels deep just to change a port number causes unnecessary friction. If you have a web server configuration, place the properties under a single server key, but keep the internal properties flat. When naming these variables, always use camel case. Start with a lowercase letter and capitalize the first word of each subsequent word. Do not use dashes or underscores in your values file. You might create a variable named external port rather than external dashboard. Consistent camel case prevents parsing errors during template rendering and matches the broader Kubernetes ecosystem standards. Also, maintain strict type consistency. If a parameter is an integer in Kubernetes, like a port number, leave it as an integer in your values file. Do not wrap it in quotes and turn it into a string. This consistency applies directly to how you tag the resources your chart generates. Every object needs standard labels. Helm best practices dictate using the official Kubernetes app labels. Specifically, use the app.kubernetes.io prefix. The name label should map to the chart name, while the instance label should map to the release name. You also include the version label and note that the resource is managed by Helm. Applying these exact labels to every deployment, pod, service, and config map ensures that external monitoring tools and service meshes can automatically discover and group your application components without manual configuration. Here is the key insight. The best Helm chart is not the one with the most configuration options. It is the one that requires the fewest overrides to run successfully out of the box. If you want to help keep the show going, search for DevStories.eu on Patreon. We really appreciate the support. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. Until next time, take it easy.